guys, this is Tiger's Chess Academy, and today we're going over the Owen defense, one of the fatal trap inside the Owen defense. And it is a trap that looks like black is in its favor, but it's actually white who won at the end of the game. So without further ado, let's jump right into action. So white starts by playing e4, and black here, instead of playing e5, black plays the move b6, which is called the Owen defense. And here white grabs the center. So this is a defense between b6, sorry, not d6, between b6 and e5. The difference is that when he plays e5, you can play d4, but it's gonna be bad for you because, well, you can't early develop your queen because there's knight c6, and now black have a knight on, and then he can just keep catching your queen and then meanwhile developing his pieces. So it's bad for black. But here, due to the lack of the e5 pawn, white can play this move d4, grabbing the center. And after black plays the move bishop b7, attacking the e4 pawn here, there are several options for white here. There's a move knight c3, and also, which is kind of what's a classical it's a classical move. And there's also knight d2, but I mean, if you would put it in c3, why put it in d2? And there is also another move that is our today's topic, and that move is bishop d3. So what this move does, what all those moves does is to protect this e4 pawn from attack from this bishop. But d3 have a unique point, and what is it? It is that after the bishop goes here, the thing is the g2 is lacking protection. So here, some creative black sides have invented this move, pawn to f5. And when he plays pawn to f5, it looks like things are in black's favor, right? You can't take this pawn because, well, I just take here and then your rook is trapped, right? Like, you just lose a rook without anything. And for you beginners who study mates like this line, if you want to go for this, well, that's just gonna make things worse for white, because here black is blocked with g6, and now you have no chance of winning. And plus, black is taking the center pawn with a simple f5 pawn, not the center pawn. So here, white's best move is like an old saying, offense is the best defense. So here you take this pawn, and this is a brilliant move. But if you are black, you're like, hey, wait, didn't I just take g2, right? Your rook is trapped. But that's exactly what white wants to solve, because due to this line is lacking now. And now you have no defenders except this pawn, which, first of all, you can't put your knight here, you can't put your bishop here. So the only defender of the king is a g6 pawn. So you have to play here, shielding the king from the queen. And then after here, white will have to take this pawn. And after you have, there's two options here, and one option leads to your doom. One option leads to you at least, you can keep playing for a while, but as you can tell from the evaluation bar, it's already better for white here. So the two options, the first option here is, well, if you're a beginner, obviously the first thing you think of is, why don't I just grab the rook? Well, the thing is, because white just have a maiden one here, and that move is a move g7, or g takes h7, which both is mate of, it's called a discovered attack, which, because this pawn is here, it prevents the queen from, well, checking the king, so I just move the pawn. Easy queasy, lemon squeezy. And here, after bishop d7, here white plays the move g takes h7, and after black plays his only move, king to f8, white can now play here this brilliant move, knight to f3. He have an attitude of, I don't care about this rook. I just care that I want to rip this road open of your king side. I just want to make your king suffer. And that is that is exactly what white wants here. And the thing is, well, there's two things to take here, and you gotta decide which to take. And as beginners, again, I think your first thought would be bishop h1, but that turns out to be a blunder because here, white has this brilliant move, knight to e5, which it directly threatens mate to f7, and here if you take the knight, there will be the move d takes c5. And now the thing is, you can observe the position and count the pieces. I have a knight, two bishops here. He have a bishop, two knights here. We're equal on those light minor pieces, and he's a rook up. But a rook up doesn't mean he's up everything. First of all, because look at this rook. What can it do right now? It can do nothing, right? It does no more than standing its ground and literally absolutely do nothing. And the rook I lost, well, this rook is kind of like the rook I lost in the corner. Meanwhile, so this rook doesn't count, and in equal pieces, now I have the pieces aiming at your king side. Those two bishops, they're very powerful, and at some point I can bring the knight to the game, maybe here, and then start turning mate. But meanwhile, you can absolutely do nothing, and as you can tell from the evaluation bar, white is absolutely winning here. So, when you play knight e5, so here, obviously, when knight e5 is played, there's another option here, which is queen e8, which is the engine top move, but it does nothing to save you because you have this move knight g6 here. Although queen e8 stops any queen f7 mate threats, it cannot stop king f7, and knight h8, double check, you cannot take the knight due to the check to the king. And here, after, say, I don't know, king of fate, here I just take your knight, and after you take it, I chop, and it looks like it's a mate, but it's not a mate. And then still have this bishop, and after queen f7, king h8, and queen f8, this is a checkmate. So here, in knight e5, you don't, so back to this here, if I already tell you that this option is unavailable, so you're like, well, why not take the knight? But the thing is, if you take the knight, the thing is, I just take back, very simple. And after you say, like, play knight f6, I take your rook. And now we're equal material, but look at this pawn. It's better than this pawn, or this pawn, like, both of them, maybe even both of them, like, added. And so here, white is winning. And as you can tell from the evaluation bar, white is very much winning this game, and white will win this game very soon or later. So this is it for today, and thank you for watching, and see you, and have a good day, guys.